Are y'all ready to head off the trails? I'm the cryptid huntress, Jessica Jones, and I'm ready to take you on a mysterious journey right now. We welcome you to Off the Trails right here on the Spaced Out Radio's YouTube channel. If you guys haven't hit subscribe yet, please do. We would love to have you. And shout out to Bumblefoot for that awesome intro music. I always appreciate it. You guys, please give us a follow on all of our social media platforms at Spaced Out Radio. I believe Instagram is Spaced Out Radio Show, but otherwise, y'all can find us. Just type that in. All right. Please, if you'd like to support us, if you'd like to support what we do here, join our Patreon. That's called the Space Travelers Club over on Patreon. We would love to have you guys there. Also, y'all can find me, the Cryptid Huntress, over on my website. That's thecryptidhuntress.com, and my YouTube channel, where I have live shows throughout the week over there on my YouTube. I think I air my shows on Twitter or X, excuse me, and let's see, YouTube, X, and can't remember the other one. Oh my God, Facebook, that's it. Okay, but yes, you guys, I am so excited to be here tonight and see all you guys in the chat. We have such a fantastic show. We have Spaced Out Radio's own MERLE Morin here tonight. Y'all know Merle. Everybody's going to have to give the Merle shout outs in the chat tonight, okay? But he's here. I actually got to meet Merle back in May, last month, at the Spaced Out Radio's fan party in Reno, Nevada. We actually went ghost hunting, and that was the highlight of my trip out there in Virginia City. And so we've got a lot to talk about tonight with that. We had some interesting activity there too, by the way. Okay, so don't forget that right after this show, After Hours has a fantastic show set up for us. So be sure to go hang out with Rob G right after we get done tonight. All right, y'all, let's get to our guest. MERLE Morin is an accomplished paranormal investigator out of Vancouver, British Columbia. He has investigated all over his province, along with areas in Washington and Oregon states. Merle's goals are to find critical answers in solving paranormal mysteries that have haunted people or places for decades and centuries. And he has his group, his team. He's the Paranormal Road Trippers. And so you guys, please go subscribe to his channel on YouTube and give him a follow. Please help me welcome to Spaced Out Radio for the first time on my show, Merle. Hey, Merle.
Hey, how you doing? I'm excited to be here tonight.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. I've seen you on Dave's show so many times. It's always fun watching you guys interact and hearing all your stories about your road tripping across the United States, not just Canada, but the United States, right?
We do Washington, Oregon, Idaho, going to be in Montana in August.
Ooh,
everywhere.
Montana. What are y'all doing in Montana?
Brothels. Investigating brothels. Old 1800s, like cowboy style brothels.
Oh man, okay. Is that your favorite thing to investigate, or like old Western towns?
They are. I've become to really enjoy them. It's more of a wheelhouse here in the West. I've never gone out east where it's a lot older, but I do. I love them. I'm so connected to the Wild West. I had to have lived there in a previous life.
I would say you probably did too. And I swear, like the highlight of my entire trip, and we had a lot of good times in Reno, but the highlight of my trip was going ghost hunting with you and the whole crew out there. I thought that just made the entire trip just like the bomb. Okay, it really did. And you kind of led our team. Let's just say, like you and Melinda, Leslie, both had a lot of input. You had all the equipment and stuff, and it made it super fun. Okay, super fun with a lot of activity.
Yeah, right? It did. Like, and I got to put hats off to the Bats of Belfry. That's the house team that does the ghost tours out in Virginia City, and they gave us a behind the tour, all access to the Washoe Club, where they let us use all the gear and see what we can get at the Washoe Club. Man, we went inside the Silver Queen. We did it all, and it was no holds barred. And I love how during the tour she was giving us all the history and all the who's who in the zoo, so to speak, information. And we got to apply that, especially when we went up to that courthouse and we had the spirit box and everything out, and we were getting so many different responses to our questions, and Melinda was indeed leading the charge on the questions up there, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was actually kind of sad too. You know, whenever we get in locations like that, there's been a lot of death. Okay, I mean that's what we're doing. We're communicating with spirits of people who passed over. But that city, that little town, that village of Virginia City was full of like death and shootouts, right? Shootouts and suicides.
It was, and where we were investigating, like where you just showed that photo, they had whatchamacallit, not a scaffold, but the area where they hang people.
The tree. They had a tree there, I think.
It was right there too, where they hung a guy for wrongdoings. Like, and just to be in this same area where that happened is pretty and energy rich.
It was. Now I have some other pictures. I think this is that's not the courthouse. I can't see because I have my glasses on tonight. Okay, so but every place just had it was beautiful. Okay, I was surprised at all of the architecture there. It went from like rickety old wooden shacks to beautiful, like Roman architecture and stuff. I mean, it was gorgeous out there. You could tell that it was very rich, and very rich in history. Very rich in history. And the main place that we focused on when we first got there was the Washoe Club, right? Made famous by the Ghost Adventures crew, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Was. Yeah, no, the Washoe Club, that was definitely on my bucket list. I had no clue that when I would be going there, but here we are. Dave had announced doing a Reno fan party, and I twisted his arm hard to do a side trip to Virginia City because I thought it would be awesome for the listeners and us hosts to experience such a cool historic place and do a ghost hunt, because I know a lot of the times we experience a lot of the ET stuff and we go on all the ET side missions, I like to call them, at these events, but it was cool to do a ghost one and have people kind of walk in my shoes for a night.
Oh yeah, well, it was fun. We were glad to do it. And in my cryptid field research, we do encounter some spirits, okay, when we're out there. And I actually use my ghost hunting equipment when I'm out in the field doing cryptid research. Awesome. So, of course, I'm going to ask you at some point if you've ever come across any cryptids when you're ghost hunting, because I've come across ghosts when I'm cryptid hunting.
I may have come across a few in my time too. Cryptids, that is.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to do another show together for sure, with your cryptid stories. We can probably talk about some of those tonight.
Sure.
But first, let's get into this Washoe Club, okay? And Big Dog, thank you so much for that super sticker. That's amazing. He says Merle. So thank you.
Love it.
You're very much loved and appreciated over here, off the trails, Merle. Okay,
thank you.
You got fans over here. Okay.
Well, I want to be back.
Oh yeah, you better come back. Okay. Well, let's talk about the Washoe Club a little bit, because the history behind that is some of it can be kind of dark, right?
It is. So in a nutshell, the Washoe Club was a millionaires club, and what happened was all the prominent people of Virginia City, the silver miners, the owners of all the elite businesses and all of that, they all had a membership to the Washoe Club. And it was where the gentlemen went to smoke, play pool, drink. There would have been ladies of the night there for if you needed that. And that's basically what it was. It was basically a boys' club, men's club.
Oh yeah.
And
they had that creepy cellar in the back, though, right? And stuff.
That was. And yeah. I closed myself in there and turned the light off and did like a 1-minute investigation when Melinda and the others were talking in the other room, and I was terrified.
Where are you? Let's see. I think this may be there she is. That's the cellar. There's Melinda right there.
Yeah, that's the back cellar.
Yeah, of all the rooms in that whole club, the scariest place was the bathroom. It was literally the bathroom. I
Did you
did
have
not like
something
going in
happen?
there. Well, I just didn't like it. I felt like I was being watched. I felt like there was somebody breathing on top of me in there. So
Gross.
yeah, I did have to go use the restroom once when I was there, and I did not like it at all. I was trying to hurry. Okay, I was really trying to hurry.
But
But
a goal of mine would be, because you can rent the Washoe Club. Like the night we were there was a team coming in that rented it for the night. And that would be something I would want to do, because you get all access upstairs to all the rooms as well as downstairs, to investigate till your heart's content.
oh wow, yeah. Well, they also have that really strange staircase going up to the top floor, and I don't know. It was made famous by the Ghost Adventures crew. Okay,
Yes,
and that's like my favorite. If I watch ghost hunting, I'm watching Ghost Adventures on television.
me too.
And now is this the same place where they had the 2x4 that like went flying through the air, or is that a different location? I can't remember.
That was Apache Junction,
Oh,
Goldhill,
that's for
Goldfield.
next year.
That's for next year.
Okay, perfect.
The Goldfield Hotel was where that happened.
Okay, all right. Thank you for the clarification. Now I definitely want to go.
Yep.
We got to go there. Okay. Well, but you usually get some really good, I want to say evidence, but good results when you're out there. Do you think that the ghosts are attracted to you because you're so nice? You're very nice, Merle.
I'm a nice
Okay,
guy.
you're very nice. You don't go
Um,
into like taunting them and stuff, do you?
no, I'm straight up respect. So my style of investigating, and I'm pretty passionate of how I do this, because I think it's the right way to do it. But uh, I like to talk to the curator, the owner of the properties. I like to learn about the properties. I like to know the deaths. I like to know the lore. I like to know every person that is said to haunt the place. And once I know those names, I like to research those people. And then before I even go into the place, I have the curator introduce me at the location to the ghosts.
Okay.
And I find that goes a long ways, because if somebody came in my house saying knock 3 times and tell me you're here, I'm not gonna be overly impressed, because I don't know who you are.
No.
And so that respect and ethics go a long way with communicating with the ghosts and the spirits, in my opinion.
Hey, that's a good point. That's the way that I look at it with cryptids too. It's like we go out there, and I always have a very healthy dose of respect
Yeah.
whenever I'm out there doing my research. The same goes with the ghost hunting. You just don't want, well, but then again, I was going to say you don't want things following you home. But man, if you're too nice, what if they follow you home anyways? Have you had any
Well,
hitchhikers?
even nice people put up boundaries. But no, I have what was I going to tell you? I have a creepy story for you, actually. Before I started doing the introducing myself with the curator, so the known person to the ghosts, we were investigating a place in Merritt, British Columbia, called the Bailey House. And with my job, my day job is enforcement. And so sometimes when I ask questions, I can become curt or very direct. And I was doing the direct thing that night. And the medium that was with me was like, Mike, you need to chill. I think the spirits think you're coming off a little too aggressive. But that wasn't my intent. And I felt a hand grab my throat and squeeze. And it was a ghost hand, like an ice cold hand. And I couldn't bat it away. And after that, I tucked tail and ran out of that house. I puked in the flower bush because I was done. And I actually contemplated ghost hunting for about a month after that, of like, if this is something I really want to do.
I can
And
see.
then,
I
yeah,
would question it too, especially when you're getting sick. I don't like getting feeling like I have been overpowered by some kind of energy, especially if it's a dark
agreed.
kind of energy.
And that's where, like, I really thought about it, of maybe I was being a little bit of a prick talking to them. But I'm a lot softer, and the whole introducing yourself with respectful intent is kind of like number one.
Oh, yeah.
Marty did have fun in Virginia
Marty's in
City. It was
there.
awesome. Yeah, well, yeah.
Marty's in the chat. Hey, Marty, it's good to see you. Yeah, we had a nice big group, and I know it was a lot of fun. I know I got separated from the group at some point. I wandered off, and I met back up, and it was, I mean, we went all over that town, though, right? I mean, it was like
With our steps in.
hotels. We went to the courthouse. We were at bars. They even have like 24-hour casino machines in some of those places.
Yep.
So it's easy. It's easy to get lost in there, for sure.
And then after Reno, like when everyone went home, I stayed for 4 days after.
Okay, and this is what I wanted to hear about. Like this is what I've been dying to hear about. Tell us, please.
So I stayed for 2 nights at the Silver Queen Hotel. Okay. And then I stayed for 2 nights at the Gold Hill Hotel. And and it's funny because the first night, Brad, who was with us, he's like, and they're like, can we come up and ghost hunt with you for a night? So I'm like, absolutely. So they drove up and then like drove home after. And it was kind of neat because Anae's a medium. Okay. And I saw her. She came, so I was staying in room 11 of the Silver Queen Hotel. And the lore of room 11 is a lady of the night unalived herself in the bathtub there. And
okay, is that where we went? Is this where? Okay, I have a picture of Charlie. Catherine's in the chat. This is Charlie. Is that the Silver Queen Hotel? They had the carpet everywhere and the weird ceilings with the bars on them.
That's the one.
Okay, we were there. Okay, hey Charlie. Keep watching. I know Catherine's in here. So what happened? I didn't know that there was an unaliving there.
Yeah, and so it happened in the bathtub, and so when Anae and Brad came in my room, she kind of sat in the bathtub and started crying and holding her stomach. And I was like, what's happening here? But I remember she's a medium. Mm-hmm. And then she started communicating. Her name's Rose. And communicating as Rose and telling these stories of her being sad, her waiting for her lover. And then a more aggressive spirit came in, which was a male who I guess looks out for Rose. So there's some spirit drama going on. And it was just interesting to watch like a psychic medium do that sort of stuff, speaking to the spirits. And I haven't gone through my audio or my video yet. I'm going to be putting out a video of my road trip through Virginia City of all of my stops. And it was really neat. I the first night I woke up and something woke me up in my room. It was just me. And I heard footsteps outside of the room, but could that have been people? Probably, maybe. But that is, quote, one of the tells in the middle of the night.
Uh-oh.
And then the second night was kind of quiet. But the second night we had a side mission. And I rented Mackey Mansion for 3 hours. By myself. Well, Brad came with me. So it was just the two of us for 3 hours.
Okay, what is Mackey Mansion?
So Mackey Mansion is John Mackey, lived there, and he was the overseer of all of the silver and all of that sort of stuff. And he was a rich man. His wife lived there. They had 2 kids, and they had a maid. What was the maid's
pictures
name?
Of that? A picture of that? I'm going to go through the pictures. I can't see them very well.
It's me in the red. Me in the red.
Okay, you in the red. We'll hit see. No, that's not it. Okay.
There's Mackey Mansion.
That's it. Okay, beautiful.
Yeah. And Ghost Adventures, any show that's on TV's been there. Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, Destination Fear, Ghost Club Paranormal. They've all done I'm just bucket list.
Okay.
And it was quiet at first. Like the tour guide there, he was amazing. He gave us a thorough tour of the whole place, all the ghost stories, all the said lore, talked about all the people that lived there. And So that was about 20 minutes. So we had about 2.5 hours just to ourselves to investigate the place. And I was going to do it alone, but Brad had come up. Thank the gods. I don't know if I would have had the fortitude to do it alone, to be honest. And we were up in Mrs. Mackey's room because back in the Victorian days, if a male, the husband had a room and the female had a room, it's kind of a posture saying that you're loaded. So they were. So they each had their own room. And when I was in Mrs. Mackey's room, I had remembered what the tour guide said. The tour guide said that the maid that's there gets really mad if people make a mess, and she will interact with you. So I'm like, fine. So I throw my book on the ground willy-nilly with no care. Brad had a napkin. He tore it up and threw it on the ground.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it gets cold, and Brad and I are looking at each other, and I'm like, I forget her name now. It starts with an H. But I told her that, don't worry, I'm going to clean it up before we leave. Don't worry. And then I had my EMF candle. So it looks like a Victorian style candle, but it goes off to EMF.
Oh,
And it's like a yes-no device. And I'm like, to the maid, are you upset? Or no, I didn't say upset. I says, does it annoy you we made a mess? Boom, it goes on. I was like, uh-oh, here we go. And I said, do you believe that we're going to clean it up? It didn't respond. Then I'm like, are you going to make us clean it up? Boom, it goes off again.
Oh,
And
wow.
just talking about it, it wasn't disrespectful. It's more of a trigger object because that was her thing. Everything needed to be in order all the time. So
That's her
we
job.
pardon?
That's her job, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah, we don't want to make her
it's
job more
it
difficult.
kind of sucks thinking about that. Like, if you had a job that, imagine if you had a job that you just didn't like, and like
Yep.
you're stuck doing that job on the other side forever and ever in the loop. Like,
Oh my god, and all
man,
these dirty ghost hunters coming through with all
I
their
know.
bleepy objects and
Right.
but yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was interesting. We had a good yes no reactionary conversation with her for like 15 minutes. And it was kind of neat. Like obviously subjective because we're using ghost tools. But like and every question we asked where it related, it would go off. And Brad was a bit of a skeptic, and you just see him being like, how is this happening? It's kind of cool to have somebody that doesn't have the field experience of it in ghost hunting, just as like a nice validation of what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's proof that there's life on the other side. It's
Yeah,
proof. And really that's kind of what we all want to know. Like, we ultimately want to know what happens when we die. At least I do.
me
And
too.
that's what got me into ghost hunting. Okay. And communicating, because I had so many people that I loved who have passed away.
Yep.
Okay. So I
Oh,
guess that's why we do this.
Stu was asking about an EMF candle. Absolutely, an EMF candle. If you go to the Ghost Stop website and look up, it's basically it's an EMF meter essentially, but it's a candle. It's a wax candle with a little light in it, and I like it in these type of places like Victorian 1800s places because you bring an EMF meter, they're going to be, what is that witchcraft? But if you bring in a candle, I feel they can relate with the time period easier and better.
Oh, yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, because you wonder about that. Like, we have such modern technology now that they didn't have back then. So, like, how would they even know what to do with it?
Hmm.
When it comes to the stuff that we have today, like an iPhone, or like any kind of like a cell phone or digital anything.
And I oftentimes I bring with me like I'll bring objects from the period. Like I have these old
Take
ambrotype
this down.
photos like
Let me take
these.
this down. So there we go. Ooh, okay.
And these are 1860s. And I think seeing a photo like this looks better than looking at a photo of like something modern. And I just feel if I can give them something they're familiar with, maybe it brings trust to talk to me a little easier, or want to even talk to me because I'm relating.
Yeah. What is that called? A trigger object?
Yeah.
Trigger object. I like that. Yeah, and it's respectful. Okay,
Yeah.
respect. Respect's the big thing. Now, there's something else that was a trigger object that I remember from being there, and that was I know we're probably not supposed to say this on YouTube, but the unaliving table. Okay.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we don't have to talk about that now. I mean, because I know you probably have more to tell us, but I was just
No,
thinking
no.
about this. As far as the trigger object goes, that's a big triggering object, I would assume.
We could also we don't have to call it that. We can call it the cursed table.
The cursed table. Yes.
So whoever owned this table, basically departed. We can use that word.
Okay.
They lost their fortunes, their houses. There's like 3 people known to lose their businesses over a hand of whatever they played on there, poker. And whoever owns it doesn't fare well. Owns it and uses it. So as you can see in this photo, it's under a glass protection. So that is in the Delta Saloon Casino. And when I was there on my own, it was actually open as they were renovating it. So I went over there and introduced myself, and I low-key begged them to let me in for 2 minutes.
I was wondering how you got in there. That place looked like Fort Knox. It looked like it was locked up. Okay.
I guess I talked to the right person, who was one of the owners, I believe, and she brought me over there and showed me the table, and I don't have any photos that I shared with you, but the walls also has stories of the different owners and about the table as well. It's kind of neat.
Ooh. Yes, I don't want to play a game of poker on that table, though.
No.
Really don't. It's really kind of sad. And I think it was like the people that were playing, like the people who own the table, people would come in and they start winning so much money, they didn't have the money to pay them. Okay. So one instance, it was like $70,000, which would be like millions of dollars today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he just ended up taking himself out because he was like, I can't pay this. So It's really tragic. Super tragic.
Strange lore as well.
Yeah.
Like, that would be something I'd want to investigate, just the energy of the table, but then I wouldn't want to put myself in harm's way, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, definitely not. You don't want to be the owner of that table, and definitely don't want to play poker on it.
Mm-hmm.
No. But there's I was really sad that I didn't get to see a shootout while I was there. Like, I wanted to see some Wild West cowboy shootouts and stuff. So
I know.
maybe next time.
Next time.
Maybe next time. Yeah. Yeah. Well, did you make
first? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to ask.
All right.
You go.
I was going to say, the first day we were there, there was a fight at the Red Dog, and I was like, that set the tone.
Oh yeah, because they had biker gangs there and stuff.
Yeah,
that was kind of awesome.
Yeah,
I was feeling it. Yeah. Yep. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, did you? So, weren't you planning to go to an old miner's cabin as well, or was that one of the hotels that you went to? Because it seemed like you were going to go to a miner's cabin where there was a bad mining accident and they put all the bodies in the yard of that house. Did you go there?
I stayed at the Gold Hill Hotel for 2 nights.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Nobody else was there.
Oh gosh. Okay, tell the audience about the history behind that, because there was like a horrible mining accident and they put all the dead bodies in the yard, right?
They did. So it was the Yellow Jacket mine, and what happened was somebody had lit a fire. Sorry, there was one of the miners' lights, and it had fell over and ignited explosives, which caved everything down and killed and trapped a ton of miners. And so the miners they brought up, they were stored in the cabin there. I didn't sleep in the cabin. I stayed in the hotel on the property.
Oh man, that would have been really scary. Yeah. That would have been really scary. And so I was actually kind of worried about you. I said a little prayer for you. I was like, okay, just You need some extra protection when you're out there because
Thank you.
it seems like it could be pretty negative. Okay, like kind of darker, like dark energy with some of this stuff, especially with the drinking, the gambling, the prostitution that was going on,
Yep.
the unalivings. It just seems really dark, and it seems like I remember there being some kind of like underground where I don't know if it was like Asian workers that came there, people that were working in the mines that they lived like underneath the town or something, if I can remember
They
correctly.
did in Virginia City. They lived underneath. So we had the boardwalk we walked on, right?
Uh-huh.
And underneath was the area where they walked, and they had their stores and sleeping areas, which was
Okay.
kind of sad.
It is kind of sad. It is. We were talking about having a duel before we turned the live on tonight, right? Can you imagine? I mean, being challenged to a duel back then, I mean, just by some drunk dude at a saloon on the road, you'd be like, okay, well, I'm either about to die or I'm about to hurt somebody. That sucks. I mean, I wonder how common that was for people to challenge you to a duel.
Well, I walked through the Virginia City graveyard, and it was one of the biggest ones I've ever been in. So
Really?
it was massive. Like they had a Mason section, they had a Ladies of the Night section, they had a Catholic
Oh,
section. It was huge, the amount of people there.
oh my gosh. I didn't know that they were divided up like that. Now, I remember
Mhm.
driving in, we drove in, I saw the cemetery on the side of the hill. It was beautiful, but it didn't look that big from
Mm.
where our vantage point was.
I wasn't so my tender Canadian skin walked through the Virginia City high noon sunlight, and I'm like, I didn't think it would be this long.
Yeah. I
And
knew.
yeah, they had like a fireman section. They had like some of the miners were buried there. Some of the miners were buried in the Gold Hill Cemetery as well. And
Okay. Wow. Well, I wonder what the gold mines had in all the mines, all the minerals and the metals. I wonder if that is a conductor for some of this paranormal activity out there.
oh, I 100% think it is. I think the amount of life that has come through Virginia City and the whole surrounding areas, the amount of tragedy that's come through there, the amount of yeah, the minerals, especially the silver around there, all the ore, the copper, you can see how like dark the sand is. So there's so much mineral in there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, see, we're finding, or I'm making connections. I don't know about everybody else, but I've been making connections to the gold mines and Bigfoot sightings.
Interesting.
There's a lot of cryptid activity around entrances to old abandoned and I guess working gold mines these days. So especially up in Alaska.
Oh, that's
Um,
interesting.
yeah, I don't know if it's like a place where they have like portals or maybe that's where the Sasquatch live. I mean,
Hmm,
I don't know, but there's a
wonder.
connection there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And I was wondering, like, I guess I was just wondering, like, if the ghosts are attracted to those things too. Like, if there's what's going on that land. What is there a conductor? Is there something like a moth to a flame, to these gold mines
It
for
has to be. It
paranormal
has to be
activity?
all the unsteadiness of all the mining they've done there, all the gold or all the silver they've obtained, all the silver they want to obtain, the greed, the wealth, the one-upping each other, and the backhandedness of taking silver and the mining claims, and I just think there's a lot of energy involved in that.
Yeah. Have you ever gone deep into a mine to do some ghost hunting?
I've not, but I want to, although it kind of scares me. What
Oh,
if?
man. What about caves? Have you ever gone into a cave to do some ghost hunting?
I've done some bigfooting around to some caves up here. But you know where I'd want to go? The Bell Witch Caves in Tennessee.
Oh, I'm planning to go there soon. Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah, actually, John Bell's fifth great grandson is a friend, I guess, because I mean, I've only met him online. Okay, I know him, but he's been on my show once. He came on my show once, and I've done some shows with him
that's
too over
awesome.
on Esoteric Atlanta. So yeah, super cool dude. And so they say that if you go into that cave and you pick up a rock and you take it home, you're cursed. completely cursed. That's why I was very careful not to pick up anything from Virginia City, Merle. I didn't pick up anything. I made sure there were no rocks stuck in my shoes.
Fair.
Okay. I did not want any quartz. I did not want anything from that city to come home with me, except for
I
some
brought
jewelry that I bought.
photos home and some antiques home from Virginia City.
Oh, you got antiques?
I did.
Well, that might have some energy with it.
I think it does.
You think? Yeah.
I bought some of those photos, like the one I just showed you, and what else? I found a post-mortem Victorian photo in Virginia City that I had to buy.
Oh, yeah. That means a death photo, right?
Yeah. It's a little girl. She's dead in it, and with her mom.
Was her mom deceased too?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, so sad.
Basically, yeah, you can see she's propped up on something because she's standing in it. Because they used to like strap their waists onto like a stand, and yeah.
That's so sad. I've seen those pictures too. I've seen them. People in the chat are saying Tommy knockers. Okay, Marty's in here. Marty's with us out there.
Yes,
Tommy
they were
knockers.
advertising Tommy knockers. So I went to the Virginia City History Museum, and they were talking about Tommy knockers. I think I took a photo of a Tommy knockers sign there.
Oh,
That would be
wow.
a thing to investigate next
Well,
time.
yeah, well, we talk about Tommy knockers on my channel and on my shows a lot. I've done a couple of shows where we talk about Tommy knockers, and it's a real thing. I mean, there's even a video of an alleged Tommy knocker in a cave. It looks like they look like little, like small men, I guess, like just little small men. But yes, you're supposed to. I think you're supposed to take some sort of an offering to them, and they'll help you. Okay.
Oh, cool.
They can either help you or hurt you. Okay, but usually they're helping. To get you out of there before the mine collapses. You know, so I don't know. I mean, it is interesting. That's just another weird paranormal phenomenon that happens at places like gold mines and probably Virginia City.
There's probably a lot of them everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. You're very brave, though. I would not want to spend the night anywhere by myself there. Ever.
Gold. So. That was the first time I did a mission by myself, actually. So Gold Hill 2 nights alone. Not much happened. I got to be honest. I heard really loud footsteps coming towards my room.
Oof.
And there's nobody there because you could blow on the floor and it would creak. But that's because it's old. But you could hear the doom, doom, doom. Oh, silent listen. I did buy an antique mirror as well.
Oh, you did? Oh, those can be dangerous.
Yeah,
oh,
I know. Here we are.
Yeah. There was one time when I was in my early 20s, okay, half a lifetime ago, and I used to, when I worked at my former life, when I worked in the government and stuff, we did conferences a lot and had meetings all over the state of Georgia, and we went down to a place called Plains, Georgia, and there's this old hotel there. I think it's called the Winchester or I can't remember. It starts with a W. The Windsor. I think it's the Windsor Hotel. And it's an old haunted hotel, and I did not like that hotel, staying there at night. I heard people walking around at night, like, and there was nobody out there.
Wow.
And I felt like somebody was walking in my room all night. Like I kept waking up because there was somebody in my room.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was really creepy. I didn't sleep very much there.
But yeah, no, every place I go to, I always have to get an antique. Like all the photos you see behind me are all from journeys. And I just put them up. I had a creepy corner in my living room, but now my living room has exploded into like a little Victorian manor.
I love that. You're like, see, like when I go places and I do cryptid investigations, I bring home where they're in every nook and cranny of my vehicle. There's quartz. Okay.
That's awesome.
I've got it in boxes. I have it everywhere. I don't have anywhere to put it anymore because I have so much quartz. So I feel you on that. It's like mementos,
Absolutely.
Mementos. Yeah. And hopefully it doesn't have any attachments to it. Now, do you think that any of those objects have had attachments? And is your house haunted?
Yes. Well, that's in the eye of the beholder. So the female right here that I'm pointing to, her. I was talking to there's a team called Ghost Club Paranormal, And one of the investigators, her name is Mandy Sue. And actually, I interviewed them on my segment of SOR with Dave, I think 2 months ago. And she was saying that the female in that photo is haunting my house. And funny we say that, because I had a couple friends here one night who they're investigators as well, and she's kind of like a medium, and she's like, "Who's the Victorian lady that goes up and down your hallway in a protective manner, like protecting me?"
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe it's her.
Well, as long as she's not hurting anybody, I guess it's okay, right?
It's kind of weird. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll deal with that sooner than later.
Oh yeah. Now you have children, right? So
I have a daughter. Yep.
you have a daughter. Does your daughter pick up on anything that's paranormal,
No.
especially in her house? No?
Zero.
That's interesting.
Her room's protected. Like, nothing can even look at her room. Like, I'm very protective of my daughter. And yeah, it's just my living room that has stuff in it. Like, the rest of my house is normal. Like, so other than that, yeah, no, it's okay.
That's awesome.
If it was bugging her, then everything would be gone. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but my son goes out and does some cryptid investigating with me. Does your daughter ever ghost hunt?
She does. She's come with me 3 times. We went camping down to Oregon 2 summers ago. And she's like, we went to Fort Stevens, which is an old military base in the Civil War era. And there's still barracks you can go walk through and all that stuff, all like underground layers and that. And it's a state park. So she's like, Dad, can we ghost hunt? I'm like, yes, we can. And so I'm like, what you got to do? We just had an iPhone. I didn't bring any ghost stuff because we don't do that on these trips. It's daddy-daughter camping. And so I give her my phone with my gimbal. And I'm like, okay, go. I'll be behind you. And then I'm like, don't forget to say who you are, and all that sort of stuff, and ask a ton of questions. And when we were listening to our footage, we heard a hi there at the beginning. And just to see her face go, that wasn't you. I'm like, no. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Somebody in the chat, we got Rain here, says, she just walked behind you, Merle. Uh-oh.
Like, actually, or is she playing with me here? I'm talking to Rain here. Is Rain that psychic? I'm listening, if she is.
I don't know.
Because we know she was talking about her.
Rain says, Merle, you should do a live EVP session in your living room while we're here and see if she answers you. I don't know.
If you're here, what's your name? Let me put the microphone up for her.
Oh, okay. Y'all listen. We'll do
her name? Are you attached to one of the photos? Are you protective? Tell us your name. All right.
Uh-oh. There's multiple people saying they see somebody back there. They're thinking they're seeing somebody. All right. This just turned into a scary show tonight, Merle.
I'm the one living here.
I know, right? Let's not encourage it, y'all, because I don't want you to not be able to sleep tonight. Even though
it'll be good drama for the next show. Good drama.
Good drama. Build it up. Yeah.
But with your listeners, what do they see? Like, honest question. If people are seeing things, I'd love to know what they see, because I do have a team scheduled to come investigate here this week. No, my daughter's not here.
Okay. Maybe they were seeing what they look like your daughter. Maybe that's what it is.
Nobody's here.
Yeah. Tewa says, I don't get a bad vibe. I think she's just chilling. But
now,
yeah.
Is it her? Is it her?
I don't know. Okay, Rain was just joking, by the way. Rain says she was just joking. Yeah. Okay, but I mean, it is part of being a ghost hunter. You can get hitchhikers though that come home with
Yeah.
you from an investigation. Now, do you take precaution when you get done with the investigation to kind of shut it down and say like, "Don't follow me home, y'all"? How do you do that?
I do. So I've been followed home before. This was actually from 108 Mile Ranch by Dave's house.
Okay.
And I had an attachment I got 2 attachment stories for you. And I had to have somebody clear my house from that. But yes, I normally I'm Métis, like my heritage is Métis, so that's like French indigenous. So I believe in sage, sweetgrass, and cedar. And I burn that all the time. I burn that in my house. I burn that to smudge me. When I bring antiques home, I basically hotbox all the antiques before I bring them in the house to purify them. And I don't like negative stuff, especially in my own home. Like I know that we're ghost hunting, and I know it's playing with fire sometimes, but like I'm cautious and respectful.
Oh yeah. Well, I know you're respectful. I know. I've done a ghost hunt with you now, and so yeah. I mean, I've had ghosts follow me home before. I've lived in a haunted house before. That
Dang.
was not. It was scary. Okay, it was pretty scary. Where I would come home at night and there would be like a blanket of black flies on my ceiling in the
That's
hallway.
creepy.
It was horrible. Yeah, and let's see, I had a black mass, like a cloud, float out of my bedroom one night, and
Oh,
it flew past me and it shoved me down into my kitchen cabinets, and then it kept
that's
going
creepy.
past me. Yeah.
Here's one I don't tell very often,
Okay.
but with my job, I unfortunately see a lot of dead people, like real ones. And we were at a property, and I was training an officer at the time. And whatever, we got done what we were doing. And when I leave my work, I everything was great. How's your day at work? It was fantastic. I could see the most grossest, horrible thing. I had a great day because I'm not going to talk about that stuff to people because I don't need to hear it. And I had an investigation that night, and we had a medium at the investigation. When I get to the investigation, the medium goes, "Who'd you bring with you?" I'm like, "No one. You can see it's just me." He's like, no, there's a man here with you, and he's really upset you were in his house today, rifling through things. I'm like, number one, I wasn't rifling through things. And then I'm like, oh, crap. I know exactly where I was today. And so he described the man to a T, what he looked like, because I saw the deceased man in his bed. And same facial hair, same clothing. And he had to clear me and cleanse me before we started our investigation. So I had someone follow me from work. I've had that twice from work.
Oh my God. They're probably very confused.
They are,
I
because
was
it's
gonna,
pretty new.
yeah. That's gotta be, it's gotta be confusing, and it's very sad
Yeah.
to think you're there 1 minute and life is fine, and then you have an accident, and you're looking at your body, and you're not in it anymore. I mean, I
Yep.
can't imagine. Yeah. Well, it's interesting that your job kind of correlates with this stuff too, and you do encounter people who have passed on tragically, probably in a lot of
Yep.
instances, and suddenly. Um, so I'd be surprised if you didn't have more paranormal activity going on around you all the time, to be
And
honest.
whenever I go to the properties now, or the scenes, I'll say below my breath, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm here, I'm just helping, I'm only doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm very apologetic. And I say, don't follow me, please.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're an EMT, right?
No.
No, what do you do?
I do animal services, so I investigate animal cruelty. I
Oh, okay.
investigate like bad dogs and livestock, a lot of livestock. So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow, very interesting. Very interesting. Well, what in the world got you into ghost hunting in the first place? Is this just something you've always wanted to do, or did you have, like myself, like have a lot of people that you love pass away, and you wanted to communicate? I mean, what got you into it?
I had so I was back in the late 80s, early 90s, when you were allowed to stay home alone from school. I was at home sick, and I was laying on the couch, and I saw a man coming up my stairs. It was just me at home, but he looked like an old-fashioned farmer from like the 20s, like brown coveralls, a cream shirt, and he just walked down the hallway, and I just looked. He's clear as day, just like looking at you. And I was wide awake, and I called my neighbor, who was a cop, but he wasn't home. So his wife came over, and she busted in like SWAT with her little can of pepper spray and cleared everything, and nobody was there, and none of the windows were open. Nothing. It was bizarre, and that kind of piqued my interest. So then I started reading the ghost story books in my library at school, and then I had more experiences along the way, and here we are. I'm investigative by nature, hence my job, and that's how.
Wow, amazing. Okay, what about animal spirits? Because I think that I've had some animal spirits around me, probably some of my pets that have passed. Do you encounter those quite a bit?
I've encountered ghost pigs.
Oh, really?
So I was at a town. It was an old Wild West town, Barkerville, and I was just doing an EVP session by myself, just walking up the drag. Nobody was there, and it was after hours. And I was walking by the old butcher shop, and I was just talking to myself, asking questions. But then when I went back and listened to the audio, I could hear oinking, like oinking like pigs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's like they're just linking in another dimension, you know.
It could be.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay. Well, I mean, I just feel like cold spots around my feet sometimes. And I just assume it's either my cat or a dog or something. I hope it's an animal.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I really do. So, yeah. And I don't know. I was thinking of all the different correlations, the different places where I investigate, like Civil War battlefields. Okay, so we had a lot of Civil War battles here in the United States, down here in the South where I live. And I've heard like phantom cannons being fired at night.
Wow.
A lot of weird stuff goes on out there, but wherever there's a battlefield, there's usually cryptid activity there too.
Interesting.
A lot of cryptid activity. Yeah, I was just wondering, have you ever investigated like a battlefield?
We don't have many battlefields up here. No, I haven't.
In the U.S., maybe. I don't know. I guess most of the Civil War happened. A lot of it happened out here on the East Coast, down here in the South.
I've invested. So where I invest, I have kind of. I investigated a place called Alexander Lodge, and it was built in 1854, and it was around the time where there was something called the Fraser Canyon War. It was between the indigenous, the English settlers, and the Americans. The Americans wanted to come up here and take over, but we were like,
No,
so there was a bit of a war there where we pushed you back down to Washington. And I've investigated around there, but not the actual battlefield. I've investigated buildings where the battle took place. Part of the battles.
Well, whenever you're ready to investigate a battlefield, you come down to Georgia, bring your crew. Now, do you actually have a crew, or is it just you? What is Paranormal Road Trippers?
The Paranormal Road Trippers, right now, it's just me. Just doing my thing. And I work with a lot of teams. I work with a lot of people. A lot of, like, one of my good friends, great guy, his name's Jake. And him and I, we call each other the Gadget Bros because we love all the ghosty gadgets, and he has all of them. And we tend to investigate a lot. Our little subgenre, we call it Our Haunted Heritage. And we have a website, ourhauntedheritage.com. And we're very history heavy, where we talk history and then we do the ghost hunt. So we do that. Yeah, so I'm more of a freelancer right now. And I would like to add some people because it's hard. It's hard to do. I'm only one person.
Oh my gosh, I get that. I totally get that. Okay, so Our Haunted Heritage. I think I may have accidentally put a space there. Okay, because I can't see well tonight. But that's your you said that's your website?
That's one of the websites. So we have ourhauntedheritage.com. And then I'm working on the paranormalroadtrippers.com.
Oh, yeah?
And then Instagram, we're extremely active on, or I'm extremely active on the Paranormal Road Trippers.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually more active on Instagram than just about any of the other social media sites. So I post all the time, almost every day on Instagram. So I'm the same. It's my favorite.
Me too.
But you have a YouTube channel too, right?
I do, the Paranormal Road Trippers, and I'm going to be trucking out about 5 videos over the next couple of months here. I've been doing some cryptid hunting.
Oh, well, I want you to come back and talk about that. Oh my gosh,
Sure.
We've got more to talk about. And what I was saying was, whenever you get ready to go investigate a battlefield, you can come down here to Georgia. You can come out with my team. I'll take you to some places. We have a lot of old Civil War battlefields around here where I live.
I will take you up on that 110%.
100%. They're not too far from Atlanta. So you just fly into Atlanta. Pickett's Mill Battlefield is where my son and I heard the cannons firing late one night after a haunted ghost tour, actually.
Oh, cool.
Okay, at Halloween. But yeah, there were people that were actually dressed up like dead soldiers and stuff. And as we were leaving, we were walking to the parking lot, and then the cannons started firing out in the battlefield.
Oh, that's neat. That's creepy.
Yeah.
But neat.
Oh yeah, but they weren't firing cannons that night, by the way.
Dang.
Yeah. So anyways, this has been fantastic. Oh my God, yeah. Mike, thank you so much for coming on tonight and sharing your stories with us. And it's been a lot of fun. We got to do this more often.
100%.
Okay. Yeah. What kind of, just to give us a teaser, what kind of cryptids have you encountered?
What have I encountered? I've encountered Bigfoot. I've encountered a shapeshifter, and I've encountered stick Indians.
Stick Indians. What is that? We'll have to talk.
Google that. We're gonna have to talk about that. That's my teaser. My cliffhanger.
All right. You're hired. Okay, we're gonna bring you back. Okay. All right, Mike. Well, thank you so much for being here. You guys, please go subscribe to Paranormal Road Trippers on YouTube and follow him on Instagram and everywhere else you can find Paranormal Road Trippers. And Mike, thank you so much for being here. You're the best. And hopefully I'll see you down here in Georgia sometime. We'll go investigate some battlefields.
I want to do that. Yep.
Awesome, Merle. Have a great night, and thanks again for being here.
Well.
Okay.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye. Stay safe out there. All right, y'all. Man, that was fantastic. I hope y'all enjoyed that as much as I did. All right. So you guys go over to After Hours, and I think, Rob G, they may be playing a replay tonight. Okay. But go over there and hang out, get in that chat. There'll be a live chat tonight. So thank y'all so much for being here. Please come hang out with me over on the Cryptid Hunters channel on YouTube this week. I'm going to have a show Wednesday, Thursday, and then Saturday. And I'll be back here next Sunday with Dr. John Stamey. We're going to be talking about UFOs, aliens, and Bigfoot or something like that. It's going to be fun. All right, y'all. Well, everybody have a great night. Thank y'all so much. Thank you for the super sticker, Big Dog. I think it's Big Dog tonight. Thank you so much for that. And you guys have a great week. And I will see y'all later. All right. See y'all. Bye.